Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Welcome to It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's a Podcast. Today, me and my friends will be discussing our highlights of this year's San Diego Comic-Con. With us today is...
Eric Whiteley.
Aaron Elliott.
Ricky Elliott.
Turk McGurk.
And your host, Antoine Bandelay. So we're going to be going through a few of some of our top, liked things during the event. We're going to go through Fear the Walking Dead, Deadpool, along with Apocalypse, The Legend of Korra comics just a little bit, Suicide Squad, and we're going to round it off with Batman versus Superman. So this should be a pretty good episode, guys.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Just for intros, because we do have a new member with us. Aaron, you want to talk about... Actually, we didn't even talk about ourselves in the first episode. We probably should do that.
Yeah.
We did? Did we talk about ourselves in the...
Not really.
I said we didn't. No.
Oh, we didn't? Yeah, okay.
Who are we?
Yeah, who are we? Who are you, Aaron?
Who am I?
Yes.
I'm a member of Blind Wave Productions. We started off doing lightsaber videos and different things. I also tried to do my own gaming channel for a while there, and now we do lightsabers, reactions, and all sorts of nerdy stuff.
How about you, Eric? Who are you?
That's a good question. Sometimes I think about that when I'm driving down the road. Who am I? But anyway, I'm Eric Whiteley. I am also from Blind Wave. We're based in Ohio, so we kind of have a national group here all over the country, right? With you guys being in LA and being in Texas?
Yes.
Yes. Part of Blind Wave. I love that we all kind of met up and started doing this. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm Antoine. I also have a YouTube channel. I do geek rants, reviews, let's plays, and hypothetical battles between, Lord Voldemort and Vader, or Boba Fett and Shepard, stuff like that. The way I met all these guys is through lightsaber videos, and that's kind of my tie to each and every one of you, actually, which is actually pretty cool. And most recently, we just did the whole Kylo Ren fan film, which you guys should all check out.
You should.
Shameless plug. Hey, Ricky, who are you?
Hi, I'm Ricky Elliott. I do exciting video games and I make tutorials and I do lightsaber fights. That's how I met everyone here. Antoine and we entered twice for the annual lightsaber choreography competition, which is happening right now, and you have 77 days left to enter. And
by the way, that's totally doable. All of our videos have been done in a week.
It's totally doable because that's exactly what I'm doing. You can do it too.
Aaron, we should just make 7 lightsaber fights to enter. Right?
No.
Someone did that one time. One year someone did that. He wanted to make a point. He made several duels in a year.
Yeah, there was 3 of them. Anyways, I got beat one year by a no-namer, and then the next year I got beat by this bastard named Whiteley. Mm-hmm. But anyways, I make stuff, and throw off. Turk,
yeah, cool. Thanks for that, you jerk. I'm Turk. I'm just kind of here. I'm a person. I was asked to be in this podcast. Originally, I was just a fan. Actually, I've been following the lightsaber choreography competition for years. I originally started with, Ryan versus Dorkman, the stuff that everyone starts with. Got really into it. I always wanted to make my own duel. Never really happened, flaky people.
Until last year?
Until last year, but it was, let's not talk about that one just yet. It's not my breakout duel. But basically, just being a fan, I was like, after I had seen Ricky and Antoine stuff, I was like, hey guys, be my friend, and they totally became my friends. So here I am.
And now I love her.
Yes, that's very true. That's very true. And they are now married and expecting a child. No, kidding.
Please God, no. Please God.
That was a secret, Antoine.
No.
That is leaked information.
Aaron
it's going to be all over the internet.
Aaron is their surrogate. He should be having their baby very soon.
God. It's Aaron Elliott and Rick.
Aaron Elliott and Ricky Elliott. There we go.
All right, so let's get right into the podcast. First, we have Fear the Walking Dead. So what did you guys think about Fear the Walking Dead?
Oh, wow, Fear the Walking Dead. Okay, don't get me wrong. I actually did really enjoy the trailer. I do kind of feel like it's like, hey, another zombie thing. Like, what does it really have to do with The Walking Dead other than just being a shared universe, That makes sense?
That totally makes sense. I think...
I've seen a lot of zombie stuff. The only thing that really keeps me invested in The Walking Dead is the characters, not the zombies.
That's very true.
I'm just saying if they had really good characters, I'm totally in. But we'll see.
I think it'll be interesting because, the main guy, who's Cliff Curtis, they said in the panel he's not like anyone else in The Walking Dead. He's not like Rick. He's not a leader. He doesn't have skills. He can't fight. He's not a cop. He doesn't, he's not like a scientist or anything. He's just a normal guy caught in a situation that's totally way out of his league. And we're gonna get to watch him and his family throughout the fallout, and it's just I can't wait.
Yeah, I actually like what we're seeing because with The Walking Dead, Rick was in the hospital during the breakdown, and in this we're actually getting to see the little stepping stones to the big outbreak, which we didn't get, and that's usually what you get in zombie films, things like that. And I think that will be interesting, especially in Los Angeles, because it's super overcrowded in this city. And yeah, that's the one aspect I think I'm most interested in. I don't really have much insight with the characters yet, but if it is engaging, and I do like the idea of this everyman guy being in it, not some superhero like tough guy, fighting off, hordes of zombies, but the guy just trying to make it in a world that he has no place to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's cool too because I feel like the audience, you have a wider audience that can relate to that character. Like, what the hell do I do? I'm just kind of like, I just go to work and pay my taxes. Like, I don't know how to deal with the situation. And I, growing up, I've just played every zombie game you can think of. I grew up on Resident Evil, Dead Rising. So, me personally, I haven't seen that the world's going to hell type zombie film yet. Like, this is the beginning of the end. We've seen it done and it just doesn't feel right. This feels right. Like, I cannot wait for this.
You know what it kind of seems like? It's kind of like what World War Z should have been.
Yep.
That's exactly what Ricky said.
Exactly what I said first time I saw it. I was like, I wish World War Z was like this. No, even like I Am Legend. I Am Legend is like supposed to be this. In the first 10 minutes, the zombie outbreak's happening, and then it cuts, and you never go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
See, the one thing for me, like kind of off of what Turk was saying, is I feel like if this was to happen in real life, based off all of the people that have played these games and know, like, hey, that's a zombie,
Yeah.
I don't feel like an outbreak would get very far. I don't know. That's the only thing that's my thought on that as far as like a modern day type of thing.
It's true, yeah, because it's funny because I've written, who hasn't written like zombie short films, and you're always writing. They never write with the characters actually knowing what the hell they're up against. They're like, oh my god, what are these things? I've never seen this before. It's like, don't you play any video games or watch any movies?
You're right, because we always get that scene that frustrates us zombie fans, because it's always that thing, no, it's my sister, I can't kill her, she's not, that's her. It's like, no, it's a zombie killer, quick. What do I do?
Do you want
it's
to
more
die?
frustrating to watch than it is compelling sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Where is your compassion, Eric? That's your sister.
It's a monster. Kill it.
It's cool to see that internal struggle, because even if you could say that, like, oh, and I used to hear people say it all the time, like, oh man, would the zombie apocalypse be just like the coolest thing ever? I'm like, no, it would not be the coolest thing ever to kill all of my loved ones or watch them be eaten. It would not be cool.
And that's actually, Walking Dead expresses that quite a bit. I think they do that very well, which actually I'm going to segue. We're going to segue now to the Walking Dead trailer. In this trailer, you definitely feel this world. And last season, I actually got really depressed after the Tyrese death episode.
yeah.
Oh, that was so hard.
That was possibly the most depressing thing I probably ever watched. After watching that, I questioned life itself, like just in general. Like, if you get down to the bare bones of survival and you find out what's life, like what the hell, like I'm just living, and you equate that just to life that we live now, like it kind of got me depressed for a little bit until they got to like the next episode and there was hope again. But like, I really got sad.
The thing about that episode, it was so disjointed in its editing. It was so
Yeah.
surreal. It was real. It was like nothing the show had ever done before, and I was almost kind of more confused. And I was like, wait, what am I watching? What show is this?
Yeah.
Because you get that fake out with Beth. Not Bill. Was it Beth that died? Aaron's not here, right?
Yeah, he's gone. Yeah, the
Okay.
fake out with
You get
Beth,
that fake out with Beth dying, and you think they're burying her, but really they're burying Tyrese. And yeah, that was a roller coaster.
That was a really difficult episode to come to terms with, because he was really the only character who was like, there was no question of right or wrong. His morality was very grounded. There was never, it was almost like he was struggling to become what everyone else was forced to become. He still couldn't give in to that. And he kept, saying that even when he was, turning, he was like, no, no one's going to die today,
Yeah.
That was just a really, really tough episode to sit through because you knew he was going to die. You know, where he was bitten and stuff. You knew, but it was like, oh god.
And I agree with that indie vibe that it had a very nice touch, especially the radio stuff at the end when he was like hallucinating and he's like, just turn the radio off. And I was like, wow, that is powerful. That's filmmaking right there. You know, like that's visual storytelling along with audio and like everything working together. And I thought it was one of the best episodes for me, but very depressing. And that's like the theme that we have now. And I'm wondering how much more of this can we watch? Like how much more like direness? And what I kind of want to see from Walking Dead now is the society of zombie society and how new governments work. And I know that's kind of what they're getting to in the comics right now is like, you know, like governments and like fighting each other. I kind of want to see them get more into that because I think we've seen the direness of the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, we've seen enough of that.
If we follow the format of the comics, I mean, you know, the comics have gone to season 10 already, you know, and they're still within this Alexandria community. So we're definitely going to be seeing the world starting to come back. I'm excited about that. You know, different communities, you know, warring with each other, starting trade with each other. I want to see that stuff in this show.
Me too. It's like rebuilding society. And I think that's the most interesting thing to me at this point.
Mm-hmm. The only thing I'll say is, can we please keep a male black character alive?
No more dead blacks.
That is
every time
true.
we introduce a new one, they
it's almost like man. It's funny because Ricky was saying that, and I'm like thinking, you know, he's exaggerating, but really he's not. And I noticed that pattern. It's like they introduce a new male black character, and we know the one presently is going to die almost immediately.
It's like the rule of two in Star Wars. Okay, Morgan's coming back. Sasha should feel for her life. Morgan's he's not.
Let's talk about Morgan because Morgan, when they was reintroduced last season, he was like a walking shaman samurai.
He was Obi-Wan in episode 3.5.
He had all of the end game, you know, MMO gear. You know?
That's so true.
He had like it was
level
so
60
cool.
paladin.
And that scene with those two wolves, oh, that was so cool.
Oh.
Please keep that. Don't make him just be I'm going back to civilization. Keep him within that realm.
Give him back his bow staff.
It's hard to even believe that he came back from what he did, which I mean, under the circumstances, that would that would drive anyone absolutely insane.
Yeah, he put himself into solitary for a good year.
He was in It was called Morgantown, wasn't it?
Yeah, that would make anyone crazy. So
he was batshit crazy.
Well, let's talk about the trailer a little bit because we have this really interesting dynamic of Morgan versus Rick. It seems like in the trailer they're going to be going after each other, but I personally feel that, like they said, it's clever editing. I think that these two are solid, and they're trying to play the citizens of Alexandria.
I think at one point, what reason would they have to be against each other? They've both come through the same sort of situation in their lives with their wives and, you know, all that other stuff. Why would they be against each other now? It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, they know each other too well. They understand where each other is coming from. And yeah, it's kind of weird. Like the edits of the trailer is like Morgan's like shocked by like Rick killing people. It's like, no, he wouldn't. He'd understand, you know?
Like Morgan even has that line where Rick is talking, he's like, he's talking about how he's done taking chances and he doesn't want to have to. And Morgan's like, and you shouldn't have to. Yeah. It's like, they're on the same page. I don't buy this conflict.
It's funny because even when Rick, you know, first met him, that was the first person that he was introduced to after the apocalypse, you know, commenced or whatever. And even then he was like that. He was going to shoot Rick dead. He was like, whatever, you know, I'll kill you first and, you know, think twice about it later. So I don't see why he would have any conflict with Rick right now.
Right.
Well, I think what it is, I mean, this is me just purely guessing, is after all that stuff that happened with Rick in the last season, people aren't trusting him, that kind of thing. It's almost like a Palpatine and Dooku dynamic. They're going to create two sides and force everybody to fight each other, and then they're going to control the conflict.
That'd be really interesting because it's always been about the de-evolution of humanity. I think this show, and that would be a perfect, you know, personification of that.
Yeah, and I have a question. I have a question now for you guys.
Yes.
Which season are you more excited for? Season 6 of this or the first season of Fear the Walking Dead?
I gotta say, season 6 right now, just because I'm so invested in characters.
Yeah, exactly. I'm actually invested in these characters.
I mean, one thing to say is that, like, with having these new characters in Fear the Walking Dead, it is kind of exciting because we're going to get new arcs and new characters. I mean, think about Carol, right, from this show. She started out as a beaten wife, and now she's the most badass character on the show.
Now she's
like-
out there beating wives.
She's like out there like
Yeah.
threatening children that she'll kill them if
Yeah.
he tells anyone about her fucking cookies.
So
Yeah.
that's cool that we'll have new characters to be able to see that evolution of or de-evolution of their humanity into this new world. So, but I have to say, I'm probably still excited more about Walking Dead just because I'm so invested in those characters.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with that, especially with Rick. Like, actually thinking about season 6, I was like, whatever. But then, like, seeing like that first shot of like Rick running, I'm like, oh yeah, forget this intensity about him that I find very compelling. And then it got me right back in there, and I realized, yes, these characters are what I'm here for.
And from what I understand, this is made up of only footage from the first 5 episodes, so a lot is going down starting out with this Walking Dead.
For me, I feel like I'd say I'm more excited for Fear the Walking Dead if not for the reappearance of Lenny James finally. Something that I thought was going to happen mid-season 5, and now he's finally back. It's like, okay, all right, you got me now.
Yeah, they probably did it intentionally.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Do we have any more thoughts on The Walking Dead?
No more dead blacks.
Oh yes, no more dead blacks. We need to like have like the
Bring
dead
back
plops.
T-Dog.
T-Dog Force Ghost.
I think it's funny because like my friends at the time, anyone black that came after T-Dog is like, yeah, new T-Dog. Oh, they killed new T-Dog. Oh, look, a new T-Dog. Oh my god.
I miss Tyrese.
Yeah.
That part whenever he breaks open the door and tackles that one guy to save the baby and stuff. Oh, that was so damn bad.
Tyrese was
That
the heart.
so epic.
Yeah,
That
they
was-
always have someone from the heart who like ends up leaving.
And I really like that because in the comics he's an ex-NFL player, so I like that they gave him like an NFL tackle in his choreography.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
All right,
All
cool.
right.
I'm bringing Aaron in back right now. Okay.
Thanks.
I was like, come back, Aaron. And I was like, wait, no, Whiteley's talking about stuff.
No, I'm good.
All right,
The
all right,
prodigal
good, good.
I didn't hear what he said.
Okay, good. I was like, no, wait. Oh my god, wrong time. All right, cool. All right, next thing we're talking about is Apocalypse / Deadpool.
Slash Gambit, but not really.
/ Gambit, not really, but X-Men stuff or
Yeah.
Marvel not universe, multi-universe stuff. All right, and then Gambit. All right, sweet. All right, cool. So we're moving on to we're going to talk about Deadpool, X-Men Apocalypse, and a little bit of sprinkles of Gambit. So what did you guys think of all this new stuff?
Oscar Isaac is on a roll.
For
Yeah,
real
he
though.
is.
Playing polar opposite characters, playing Poe Dameron on a mission from Princess Leia to find someone, and now he's the bringer of death.
Pretty dramatic change.
That's
It
pretty
is.
awesome, yeah. And I'm really proud of that too because I really like Oscar Isaac a whole lot. As beyond just the actor, like even when you see him in interviews, I really think he's a really dope person. You know.
Yeah, he's
Also-
really cool, like down to earth, like not big headed.
And check out his music. He's got some great music too.
No, he really does. After
Oh, I
Inside
didn't
Llewyn
know this.
Davis.
Yeah.
Oh.
Does he have like what does he have? Like he's on iTunes, he's SoundCloud. What's going on?
He's like legit, yeah.
Wow, I gotta listen to this. Okay, he's really talented.
I really like the cast. Something I noticed when I was watching it with Turk that I pointed out is like all the new people and stuff. There's like maybe 4 people in this movie that are American. Everyone else is British.
All British. It's like
All
anytime someone
British.
opens their mouth, I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Really?
They're better trained actors.
I'm
really
kind
are.
of
Seriously.
I'm kind of excited about Sophie Turner coming in as Jean Grey.
Yeah.
She doesn't really
yeah.
get a ton to do in Game of Thrones that's not crying and being sad. So hopefully I'd like to see her happy. I think she has a good smile.
Yeah, I think she can bring a lot. I think she'll be good.
Wait, remind
Yeah.
me of this actress. Who does she play on Game of Thrones?
Sansa Stark.
Sansa.
Oh my god! How did I not know
She's gonna,
this?
she's
Yeah, she's
gonna
gonna
be
be Jean
Jean
Grey.
Oh, that's so awesome! Oh wow, I did not know this. Thank you guys for revealing that to me.
Olivia Munn cast as Psylocke is
That was
beyond
genius.
perfect.
Yeah,
That
did you
was
guys
so
see the video of her
genius.
training?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's
Yeah,
pretty
I think
The
legit.
one
at
that
it.
behind the back spin and stuff. It was
It
pretty
still
cool.
it still seems like pretty beginner. Like she's still like, oh yeah, I'm doing this.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, I think she's gonna pull it off. She's got the whole deal. So if it's not 100% in every single area, it'll be 100% altogether. It's just she's the package.
What's actually really
I like-
funny? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I like how Chris Hardwick was like, Olivia, here you are. Like this is weird because like you're there now and I'm still here.
Aw.
So sad.
That's cool. He gets to host Comic-Con. That's a pretty cool gig.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Just going
he got-
into this, I thought that I was actually getting pretty fatigued by superhero movies and comic book movies in general, to the point where like we were discussing before we were recording, I don't really care for Ant-Man coming out next week because just whatever about it. Like I think I got fatigued. Even watching the last Avengers, I was kind of like, it was good, but it's more of the same. And seeing some of this, or at least not so much with the Apocalypse or Gambit, but seeing Deadpool in particular, and even some of the other stuff that we're going to see later on when we're talking about Suicide Squad and Batman vs Superman, I feel like, I don't know, I'm getting a little bit more reinvigorated with these stories. They're a little bit different now.
It's because there's so many out now. They can actually start to take a chance, do something different.
Exactly.
Like Deadpool, I think I was just so stunned every time I watch it. Like, wow, this is really R-rated.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
I don't know.
You
what
can't do
think.
a Deadpool not R-rated, right?
Yeah, and I guess that's it. Just we're so used to the same spin on these superhero movies that it's just really. I was like flabbergasted.
And
like,
we have Ryan Reynolds to thank for that because he kept pushing for an R-rated. He wouldn't do it unless he committed to an R rating.
Had to kill Slater to get there.
Sneaky.
Yeah, right. I think the tone it has is perfect for Deadpool.
Mhm.
Like out of all, like every time you see him in anything, like this movie is exactly like what you would expect out of any kind of Deadpool like movie. I think.
Now
I've seen him in comics and games and everything. He's always breaking the fourth wall. I love the little cue the music tone just in the trailer. Like I thought that was great.
For him to break the fourth wall. I think he did end up doing it the one time, right?
I know. At least one time when
he
he
points to the camera,
he looked and he goes, "Cue the music," and then like it goes into like this little montagey type of thing.
Yeah, you got to keep that in there.
And I love the Green Lantern joke too when he's talking about whatever you do, don't make the suit green or animated.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah,
it's gonna be really fun.
I didn't make the connection. Oh, that's awesome. And we saw Colossus in here.
Oh yes,
that was surprising. I didn't expect that.
I mean, so is it confirmed that this is absolutely within the X-Men universe then?
Yeah, it's the same actor who's playing Colossus too.
Okay, all right.
I forget his name, but yeah.
See, the one thing about these X-Men movies is, I like them. I love Days of Future Past. I'm sure I'll love the Old Man Logan that's going to be coming out. I'm sure I'll love this one. But it's just like the new Spider-Man movies. Like, I can't get super excited because I know this guy's not going to meet Captain America and they're not going to have Civil War. So why do I even care now?
Right,
but
I agree with that.
You can do that now, but X-Men is still in that realm of like, yeah, but don't we want to see the X-Men be brought into the Civil War and all those great stories that we read when we were kids? I don't know.
I mean, seeing the cast of all the Fox Marvel movies come together, that made me excited. If Fantastic Four is good and successful, I'll be excited. Like, I'll be all right if they don't cross over immediately, with Disney's Marvel, because they have enough right there. If they do Fantastic Four well, then they have them. They have Deadpool. They have Gambit. They will have their own thing, finally, instead of like 4 disconnected franchises that never work.
That would be great. They should do that. I mean, they need to play catch up to Marvel, and DC is certainly starting to play catch up to Marvel. So, I mean, hell, Star Wars is playing catch up to Marvel now.
Everyone's playing catch up to Marvel right now.
Yeah. And like Star Wars is in the same, it's in the same situation that superhero movies are in right now, where it feels like we might be getting a lot of the same stuff. Like it might be retreading, we might get fatigue, but with the announcement of like Christopher Miller and Phil Lord directing Han Solo, and it's like Rogue One is this dark war movie. It's like they're doing it too. Like they're going to vary it too. They're not all going to follow the same formula.
Yeah, and I think that's what's naturally going to happen because no one wants to retread, and we're going to have people taking way more risk because, well, they can. You're oversaturating it, so you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be nice, especially giving like a more mature like look into Star Wars. I'd love for them to like go into that whole Dead Troopers book.
Oh,
like that was like a very like that felt like a lot grittier type of book or whatever with the whole storyline of it. Like that'd be interesting if they did something with like that.
That would be cool. All right, cool. So we're going to move into a very short thing about the Legend of Korra comics. This is mostly are you guys, who else is into Avatar in this podcast?
I'm out.
I'm out.
I like what I've seen. I just haven't sat down and watched all of it. I've seen a lot of parts of here and there of Avatar, and I've seen like the first probably 5 episodes of Korra.
Okay, and don't get me wrong. When I say that, I don't mean that like I don't like it. I'm like, it's one of those things like it's like Mass Effect. I know I'm gonna love it, and I love that I have stuff. I know that I have stuff that will be good in the future. You know, it's like a
Yeah.
reassuring thing. Like I can always go and play that if I can't find anything new.
That's so funny. It's funny because like Airbender in particular is the one thing other than Star Wars that I can't. It's like preaching the gospel. Like I'm a born again Christian. Like I want everyone to know the gospel of Airbender. Like you cannot die
The blood, the beauty.
until you have seen at least Airbender. Not even just Korra. I mean, Korra
Yeah.
comes with it, but Airbender is like if it's the last thing you do in your life.
I mean,
watch
having
Airbender.
having known nothing about it, I get a feeling that it's like Star Wars and Pokemon put together.
I don't know about Pokemon.
Yeah, I know
I mean,
Pokemon.
with the whole like elemental, this is he's a fire type, he's a wind type.
Oh, I guess
You know?
if, in that way.
Kind of in the way that they no.
No.
Actually,
Yeah,
never mind.
yeah, but there's no
Well, you guys would
capturing
know.
of things.
I don't know. I guess.
Yeah.
I thought you were going with like the whole like, well, here's a monkey lizard and here's a dog bison,
Oh,
or
no,
here's like
yeah,
Yeah.
so that would make more sense than the elementals. I mean,
Turtle
that's-
dove.
I have no idea.
yeah.
it's funny because
So,
it's a
yes.
kiddie show, but it's got some really serious themes. Like
It does.
I
and
highly
it's
recommend
really
it.
well done. Like
Isn't that where Dave Filoni comes from?
Yeah.
yes, he actually.
Oh,
I-
It
and
is.
there's
I
an
did not know that.
episode in I don't know what season it is.
It's
called The Drill.
It's an episode or a season 2. Book
Yeah,
2.
it was ghost written by both J.J. Abrams and why can't I remember? Damon Lindelof.
Oh wow, really?
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peru.
That is crazy.
Oh.
I
But-
gotta put that on my list right now.
No, yeah, you really do. Like literally,
Go put that
Mass
shit-
Eric,
Effect and
we should just reaction video to Avatar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just go
Oh,
through it.
dude,
to a
yes,
series
do
that's
it.
been out for 10 years.
do
Okay.
it, dude. You will love it, Eric. Literally, you will love it. But yes,
I-
at the convention, they announced that just like they are doing with the Last Airbender, they've been continuing it with comic books. They're going to be doing the same thing for Legend of Korra, and it looks like we're going to have either what happens after Korra and oh my god, I'm forgetting
Mhm.
blanking on name.
Korrasami? Korra and Asami.
Well, I was thinking about the double thing. Asami, Korra and Asami coming out of the spirit world after their summer escapades together. I don't know if the comic's going to be about them being together or is it going to be afterwards and them interacting with the world.
Well, I mean, the cover of the comic is them coming out of the spirit world at the very. I shouldn't be saying these things. I'm spoiling for everybody.
yeah.
So say I'm like, I
You
know
what I'm
some of those
talking about,
words.
right?
I know some of those words.
Well, let's say I was being particularly vague about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't,
so
don't worry about it. I
cover-
mean, I'll forget all that stuff.
Yeah.
By the time I start
Basically,
watching.
the cover is the ending, and so I think that's what they're going to do because people were really annoyed by that. Like, well, if you're going to put these two characters together, why don't we see it at all? And other people were like, oh, it's so subtle. You guys are so stupid if you don't see it. And really, honestly, come on, guys, do not lie to yourselves. There was no relationship there.
No,
I don't.
there
If you
wasn't.
saw it, you were just one of those shippers. You're the same people online that's like, May should be with Ty Lee, and just ridiculous crap like that.
Yeah, I'm interested to look at it just because I love any more Avatar-related content, period. But yeah, that storyline, I would like to see what they're going to do with that storyline in particular, how they're going to work
Plus,
that
you'll
out.
have new characters. to
I
put
think it would be
together.
good. Yeah, because again, people were like, "What? This is like the weirdest writing ever." At the very last second of the season,
Yeah,
of the
like
whole
that last 5
season.
minutes was really, really, like, intensely strange. And
Yeah,
it
it
didn't,
was, like,
feel authentic to me,
No,
personally.
How do you guys feel about them doing this like as a trend now? It's increasingly popular to continue things that stop as a comic book. Like they're doing it with Fight Club and I guess not really Star Wars. It's natural that they're doing that,
Well,
but
they did some of the old Clone Wars stories as comic books.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Them as actual just books now too.
like do you think that's absolutely necessary, or is it like if people really want this, why do you stop the shows?
well, I mean, because the creators of Avatar, are ready to move on. They're like, "Okay, guys, we've been doing this for a really long time. We want to do other projects." It's like Daniel Radcliffe and Harry Potter. He's like, "I want to be someone else now, please." But the fans are like, from what I understand, they're like petitioning online for more Korra and more seasons. They're like, "We want more avatars," and it's just.
I think they did it with Firefly too, didn't they? They put those out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
And
I
they
think
made a
it's
whole
just
movie
if
for
the,
it.
if the original creators feel like they have more stories to tell, tell in any medium you can, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not what Chuck was saying is that the creators actually don't want to
Yeah.
do anything. I mean, not that they don't want anything to do with it, but it's just that they want to expand. They
Yeah, they
feel
really
they have
do.
more to show us than just the Avatar world.
It's sort of like it's like the equivalent to Star Wars for them. That's
See,
what they're going to be known
isn't-
for forever.
Isn't one of the creators writing it?
I think he's helping, yeah, but for as far as I understand, they're both ready to do
No.
other things. They've said they're ready to do other things.
Yeah, and then I'd have no slights against them at all. Like that's completely
Yeah,
fine.
no,
Like,
absolutely.
as an
I will
artist,
say
you have
one-
to expand.
I will say one cool thing about having never seen any of this stuff is I know that I can just go and just binge watch all of it.
Yep.
That's
you
true.
sure can.
That's true.
I might have to do that when I'm on vacation here in a week.
Yeah.
See, do we need a Chewbacca comic?
No. Oh,
Yes.
good thing. Thank you for bringing that up. Since we're on the
Do.
topic of
Why
comics.
No.
not?
The dialogue alone will be perfect.
Right?
Oh my god.
I don't know.
You know what? You guys are being racist. We need a Chewbacca comic.
What if, you saw, what if it's through the perspective of Chewbacca and you just see like his inner monologue, but it's not all rah? Like you actually get to see what he thinks.
That'll change everything that we like perceive him as.
Yeah,
It's just too
right?
much.
Totally.
I imagine his inner voice will sound like Triceratops from Kung Fury.
Yeah, exactly. I
be
don't
like-
know. It's Star Wars. I'm a Star Wars fan, and I love it all, so I have to automatically love a Star Wars comic.
See, I'm the
Yeah.
same way, and I hate that about myself. That I
I
have
hate
to
it too.
love
Right.
everything about
It's
Star
just
Wars.
using me.
You
I
just
mean, I'm
gotta-
just a, yeah.
You gotta realize it's like candy. It's bad for you, but what? Don't eat it. Don't do it.
Why are you dissing candy? I don't.
Exactly. That was perfect. All right, let's move on to Suicide Squad and Batman versus Superman. What do you guys think about Suicide Squad?
Now, Antoine, you were talking before we started recording. You didn't really know what Suicide Squad is, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that don't know what
Yeah,
they
I had
are.
no idea what the concept, and I couldn't really hear the trailer because it's it's a potato cam trailer, and I was like, oh, what is it? What's going on? I don't understand.
Now, Suicide Squad it's all of the bad guys, mostly Batman villains, but there's some other villains from other stuff. You know, whenever they get put into prison, what do you do with this group of people that have all these amazing skills? Are you just going to let them rot, or are you going to use them? That's why the shady spots of the government, you know, I can't remember exactly. I think it's Argus. Is that what it's called, Aaron?
This
Argus.
is like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Argus
Yep.
they'll take these people onto covert operations and they'll have them do the things that they can't do and the heroes can't do. So, and that's why it's called the Suicide Squad. Do something that is going to be a suicide mission, because who cares if the Joker dies?
Yeah, zero accountability on Amanda Waller's part.
Exactly.
Which
Yep.
Viola Davis is perfect casting.
She really
I
is,
think
and
so.
I love Viola Davis. She is awesome.
They had some Suicide Squad stuff and Amanda Waller in Arrow, and I wasn't super happy with that. Amanda Waller.
Yeah, no.
She was the second girl from Spartacus, and I don't know. She
She
kind of
was-
had a
I
One
didn't like her in
dimension.
Spartacus.
yeah.
Let's not get into Arrow.
We can't really see much, but what do you guys think of Harley Quinn?
I like her look
Oh
and
god,
her
I'm the complete opposite.
physicality,
Yeah.
but her voice I don't think was quite there.
Yeah, I want to say they're saving it because I've seen on set footage that's been all over, and she's doing the voice perfectly. So I think it's
Yeah.
just her being quiet because she played Harley Quinn in Wolf of Wall Street. She's done it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically, exactly. It's like just do
I
that.
gotta hear her say Mr. J.
Yeah.
If she
Mr.
says that,
J.
I'll be able to make my decision.
Yeah, I think it's sort of
Mr. J.
Mr. J. What was I gonna say? I really, when they first released the picture of her, I was like, lollipop chainsaw much? Like, I'm
Yeah.
really not digging that. Like, I love Harley. I know that she's like just the fans for her for everything Harley Quinn is just snowballed over the years. And as far as I know, a lot of fans, it was like half and half. People either loved it or they hated it.
Mhm.
And yeah, I don't know. The blue and the pink, it's sort of cotton candy-ish. I'm just like, we'll see how she does.
We'll
I
see how
think
she
we
does.
really need to see her act.
I liked her vibe when that hallway scene where she was blowing her bubble out, her bubble gum. I don't know, something about that. I don't know what it was about that exactly. Can't really put my finger on it, but I like that. Maybe I like her persona. I guess it's just the voice was the only thing that I had any kind of like quibble with.
Yeah, and I wonder too. This is something that I don't get. She seems like she's being toned down, for more realism and stuff, so it seems more real world. But it's been established. This is taking place in the same universe as Ben Affleck Batman. He's dressed as a bat running around. Why can't she dress like? We've got Killer Croc.
I think we already got
Right.
our realistic Batman, and that was the Christopher Nolan
Right.
Batman.
Yeah.
So why can't we get the Batman and his villains that we want to see on screen? I want to see Harley Quinn like flipping around and just saying the most like airheaded crap ever.
Yeah, it's like what aren't they getting? Why aren't they taking the hit from Marvel?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Marvel can put out a freaking raccoon with a gun.
Yes.
Exactly.
We're only just now getting Wonder Woman.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. I have some things
Well, I mean-
about, yeah.
With Harley Quinn, they didn't show her flipping around, but I mean, there could be a lot of stuff they just didn't show. Maybe she does do a lot of stuff, you know. They didn't show her hanging upside down, like doing a split.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean, maybe there is that there. It's just not being
Show that
shown,
girl upside down with the split. I'm in. I mean, I'll go.
right? There you go.
And let's talk about Deadshot.
I was going to say
think
that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is this Will Smith's first villain role?
No, it can't be.
Think about it. Think about it.
He was semi-villain in 7 Pounds.
That doesn't really count. I think this is his first straight up villain role, guys.
I mean, for being a villain, I feel like he's going to be the anti-hero. They kind of really
Exactly. I don't see him as like a villain. When he talks, I'm like, that just sounds like Will Smith.
Yeah.
If you count the movie as a whole, you could say After Earth.
Bazinga!
I guess if they are going to make him a quote-unquote villain and they're casting Will Smith as the part, I just hope they keep, don't make him too relatable. He is Deadshot. He is a villain.
Exactly.
Make sure keep this guy a villain.
Yeah.
We don't want to root for him so much that he shouldn't be in prison. He just misunderstood. No, he's Deadshot. He's the best assassin in the world.
Exactly. And Deadshot's he's already established so well in the Batman community. So please don't change that too much.
And for any of you guys that have seen Flash and Arrow, I mean, I thought he was pretty good in
he was my favorite part.
And they took him out because of this movie.
Is that why they took him out? I love Deadshot. Now
they took him out in a way that he could come back. Maybe we don't know. It's an explosion. You didn't see his body, but that's why they took out Amanda Waller. They're taking out the entire Suicide Squad from there.
Jeez.
So we'll see.
Have you seen any shots with Will Smith having like some kind of weird eye, like they do in? Like he has that in the comics. He has
an eye,
cybernetic eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because he's Will Smith.
Yeah, you get an actor that prolific. You got to show his face.
Yeah.
That is so sad.
Well, I mean, you can show his even the one from Arrow. You saw his face. He just had one eye that had that thing on it.
Yeah.
So you still saw all of his face. Like you said something about a mask. Was that Antoine or Ricky that said about a mask?
He has like a
looks like a golf ball with a red laser.
Yeah.
So is it like a full face mask though?
It's a full face mask.
Full head, full everything.
But I'm sure it'll be him for one sequence, and then he has it off the rest of the time.
Yeah,
I would think so too.
It's like why
you don't hire Will Smith and then put a mask on him.
Same reason Robert Downey Jr. isn't always in his Iron Man outfit.
Yep.
Yeah, but even whenever he has his mask on, you got to see his face.
That's what about the HUD. That's why you get the HUD, the inverse HUD, going on.
That's why, like in Age of Ultron, and he shows up in that one building, and he just takes his entire suit off and walks around. I'm like, dude, there's bad guys in there. What are you gonna do?
Exactly.
Right.
But I think this might be pretty good for Will Smith's career because he hasn't. This is a different role, I think, than what he typically does, and I think his roles since he's come back after the After Earth debacle have been pretty good in terms of like diversifying his palette, acting palette.
And yet acting too good for Independence Day.
I can't believe he did.
I don't know why not back then. Has anyone seen his one movie Focus?
Yes. It's not a very good movie, but the chemistry between him.
Is he like bad guyish in that?
No, he's more of a comment. He's anti-hero for sure.
Okay, and isn't Harley Quinn in that too?
Correct. Yeah. That is the best part of the movie, is their chemistry and their dynamic. Yep. The movie itself, the second half has really, really got a lot of problems, but it's their coupleness was awesome.
Well, getting back to Suicide Squad, let's talk about what everybody wants to talk about. Let's talk about Jared Leto's Joker.
So I thought we were going to talk about Jai Courtney and how great of an actor he is.
Jai Courtney. I don't even know who he is.
Oh, good.
No, Jai Courtney is wasn't that the son of McClane from Die Hard?
Yeah. And he's in Terminator.
Vera from Spartacus.
Oh, so he's in
Okay.
Oh, if you're going with that route, then you're going with Terminator Genesis.
Oh, God.
Also,
oh man. Okay, now I know.
Reese.
Yeah. Okay. I got it. I just wasn't familiar with his name.
He's the new Sam Worthington. He's a new guy to push down our throats.
Okay.
Go back to Joker. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Joker.
Wait,
I think
who's Jai Courtney though? Like, what is he in?
Captain Boomerang.
Oh, really?
Oh, he's Captain Boomerang.
Wait. So they took someone from Spartacus and made him Captain Boomerang, and didn't they? Wasn't he in Arrow?
Well, in Flash, they took another guy from Spartacus and made him Captain Boomerang.
So now they're taking someone else from Spartacus and making him Captain Boomerang in Suicide
Squad? I guess I'm confused.
Yep.
All right.
dog.
But
Alrighty.
yeah, talk about Joker real quick. I mean, obviously people are gonna compare him to Heath Ledger immediately,
Right.
and I gotta say, I kind of heard a lot of Heath Ledger
Me
in his
too.
voice there.
I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a
It was-
toned down version actually of
Yeah,
Heath Ledger.
and there's nothing wrong with that, I guess. But I don't know about you guys, but when I think of Joker, I think Mark Hamill all
the way. Yeah, it's funny.
That-
I say that as much as everyone loves Heath Ledger's Joker, which I mean, you cannot deny. It must have been a really almost impossible thing to do, to bring a Joker that is really good, really compelling, and not be Mark Hamill's Joker, and people love it.
You know what it is? Mark Hamill has the perfect voice, and Heath Ledger had the mannerisms in the face.
That's true.
He was the physicality. He was everything. But Mark Hamill, that voice is unforgettable.
I think.
Oh yeah.
I mean, even then, Heath Ledger's Joker, as far as his mannerisms, was toned down compared to the Joker we know in the comics and the TV series. He's insane. He's like a stage actor. But it was still really cool. Going back to this Joker, initially I was just like, what? He looks like the manager of Hot Topic.
Yeah, I don't want to make the mistake a lot of people made with Heath Ledger and just instantly hating him and then being completely wrong when it came out. But that first picture that we saw, they have to literally put damage on his forehead so we know he's damaged.
That was bad. And I didn't have... Oh, no, go ahead.
I'm just saying, if you're going to have a damaged character, show, don't tell.
Yep.
You know?
Would you say that writing was on the nose?
Oh!
I'll show myself out.
Jared Leto, me personally, I'm not concerned with, can he be the Joker? I'm pretty sure he can.
I have no doubt he can. I just don't love the look yet.
It's exactly how I feel. It's just like, why, I'm pretty sure he can do it. Please don't do that.
It goes back to what I was saying. Why can't we just have outlandish Joker?
Yeah, that's what I was hoping. From that first photo, I thought that's what we were getting. I thought we were going to get batshit crazy Joker. And then we see the trailer, and then you see it feels like it's a little bit toned down. I thought he would be like just nuts,
He has a grill on his teeth, and he's driving a Lamborghini. I mean, he's like Playboy Joker.
Yeah. It's like...
I would love to see a look between Heath Ledger and the Jack Nicholson kind of like pushed
there
together.
You go.
That I think would be really cool, like something kind of like that.
Colorful.
Yeah.
It's Lambo, though.
But also very white.
It could be what they're doing with what we speculate they're doing with Harley Quinn. They're just not giving us the good stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
I just mean all these studio executives, they're going to say, well, what can we bring to Joker? What do people want? It's like, go to the Arkham games. He's perfect.
He is absolutely
perfect.
Perfect. Like, I feel like I can always go back to those. If nothing else, if these movies bomb and I'm just like, whatever, I can just go back to playing. I can just go play Arkham Knight. Like, I don't even care.
Very nice. All right, cool. So I think that wraps up Suicide Squad. Let's get into the meat of this, the biggest thing that we all want to discuss. Batman v Superman, the Dawn of Justice.
Steak and potato.
The only bad thing I'll say is I hate the V. I hate it so much. I hate it.
No, here's the thing. I think that actually makes sense now, especially how they opened up with the courtroom scene.
Wait, you hate what?
It equates it directly because the V is it doesn't make sense if you think about it in terms of like battling versus, but the V
is political.
Yeah,
it's political. It's judicial. So that's.
I understand, but I mean, isn't that the thing everybody hates about the prequels? Is all the politics? I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Classic movie and television trope is to end it with the courtroom scene.
Yeah,
we don't need that in the title.
Yeah.
Anyway, but that's the only thing I'll say bad because I loved this trailer with a full-on hard passion.
I thought you were going to say hard something else, but okay.
Yeah,
your mind went there. I didn't say it.
But yeah, it was playing. This is playing into my theme that I had earlier about me feeling kind of jaded to some of these superhero movies, and then seeing this really for me kind of refreshed my mindset about this, and it's something interesting, especially how they set up Batman or Bruce Wayne's motivation into wanting to combat Superman, and how they perfectly had it like happening at the same time of the climax of the previous movie. I think is like amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing. When you think about Man of Steel, everybody always says, oh, he destroyed Metropolis, and this isn't the Superman we want, and he didn't save anybody, and no one realized that's the point. Look at the beginning of this trailer. Everybody's pissed, you know? Yeah. I think that's what they wanted us to feel like.
Well, I mean, Superman's like, I was telling Ricky the other day, like, he's like an adolescent just coming to adulthood. Like That's why I feel like it's such an odd pairing of him barely becoming Superman and understanding what he is and what he's supposed to do, versus Batman, who's coming out of retirement.
Yeah.
It's like, that's a really odd, time frame. I feel like that doesn't make sense for me. But going back to what Antoine was saying, I totally feel you. Like when we first saw it was right around the time we saw the Force Awakens teaser from Celebration, and the Batman vs Superman had come out, the first teaser, and I was just like, it's not Star Wars, so I really don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
Me too.
but this one, it was enough. I was still like, it's still a little strange for me here and there, but it was enough it gave me chills as my body was reacting, and I was like, all right, body, I get it.
I mean, I'm looking at Superman in Congress, and I'm not saying that's stupid.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Like
That's
beautiful,
iconic.
actually.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really beautiful to me, actually.
It's like what he did in the first one when Man of Steel, when he surrenders to the human race. It's like he doesn't have to do this.
No.
I'll pick up Congress. I'm not coming to you. I'll pick you up.
And how perfect is it that the end of the movie of Man of Steel was the destruction of Metropolis, and the beginning is what I have to assume the destruction of Metropolis through Bruce Wayne's eyes.
Perfect.
I don't know how else they would start that. That would be the great way to start it off, where it just. I love that shot with him running, and you see the exact same
Yes.
Yeah.
fiery shoot
we-
through the building.
Yeah, we showed it before we started recording here. If you look at the fire coming out of the building, that's the exact same shot of Zod shooting his fire for the first time. It's such an awesome choice. I'm really glad they did that.
Going back to Superman not having to do any of this, the thing that really hit me, like it was midway through the trailer that really got me in, was when Martha Kent, her speech to him saying that you can do this, you can do that. You don't owe this world a goddamn thing. It's your choice to be a hero if you want to. It's your choice to go and be completely ordinary if you want to, and that landed for me. That theme landed hard for me, and then the rest of that trailer, I was just like, I'm in. Like, if that's what this is about, and that's like kind of questions that are being asked within this movie, I'm in.
And then he's like, thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
It's like a continuation of what Pa Kent was in the first one, when he's like, what was I supposed to do? Just let him die? And he's like, maybe, they get it. And, now we're seeing that more from her. She's getting it too. And what she's talking about is like a theme that I love. And like, I was reading comments on Reddit about people's reaction to it and what they thought about it. And it's like, it's like we didn't lose 20,000 people in an earthquake because of an earthquake. We lost 20,000 people because nobody wanted to pay to build code. Like a bus doesn't crash because shit happens. It crashed because the driver's working 2 jobs without benefits to feed his family and exhausted most of the time. And we blame it on other things. Like, that's what we do as a human race. And now Superman's here. So Superman's saving people falling from these buildings and stuff. And it's like, well, why didn't you save these people in this tsunami over here? It's like, so we're damning him, and it's awesome. And it's like, Wayne's getting into this now. So it's, I don't know.
Well, not only that, though, but we're getting a element of fanaticism. Superman being a higher power and people worshiping
it's like a religion.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Like that shot of the woman on the roof reaching for him.
I mean, that was so Messiah right there, right?
Yes.
The one shot that's been in both trailers with all the people with like the painted faces, and they're all like reaching and touching him and stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the imagery, and then the imagery of him when the lady was it was like, I guess, a big flood or whatever, and then she's just like, that's a very angel, godlike image that I thought was very beautiful. I think Zack Snyder is very good at painting really good compositions and painting a really good color palettes on the screen. He does that very, very well.
Now, to completely contrast that, we have some shots of Stormtrooper Superman. People, have we seen this?
Yep.
Those guys with the Superman logo on their shoulders.
I want to say that's a Lex thing. I want to say that's like a distraction thing he's doing, like to,
Yeah, and they were taking down like Desert Gear Batman, right?
Yeah.
That was great. I love that.
I have a theory though, because when I saw that he's wearing like cargo pants and boots, I think if they're kind of taking some cues from The Dark Knight Returns, there's a group in that comic called the Sons of Batman they're like a club that get together and try to become Batman in other places.
Yeah, no, like
I think we might be having followers of Batman versus followers of Superman.
Yeah, isn't that what those, like, they look like the Dia de los Muertos people when they were around Superman? I'm pretty sure they're part of that army for Batman.
Yeah, I I don't know if is this actually in the movie, or is it kind of like when Superman saw all of the skulls of humanity and he sunk into them? Is this like a vision of things to come, or is this actually going to happen?
I think it'll happen.
It's funny, I was reading before this had come out, I think it was like a year ago or something, how they're saying like, oh, it's not, The Dark Knight Returns, but it's really hard to deny that. And then you have this trailer, like, it sure as hell looks like it.
Yeah, no, he even said it on the panel. Zack Snyder said it's not a direct adaptation of The Dark Knight Returns. They're taking stuff from it, but, clearly because of things they've done in Man of Steel, they can't do things the exact way. What do you guys think?
It kind of works, though.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that we have a young Superman and an old Batman.
That's what I was saying. Like the time frame seems off because Batman's really irrational for being, having been Batman for like ever. Like he's already sort of dealt with these demons, and I think it's that they're sort of showing you to the death of Jason Todd, which is still kind of fresh. The suit with like Joker's like evil maniacal spray paint on it. Jokes on you. Yeah,
I did not expect to see a Robin outfit and a Robin that had been killed.
Poor Jason.
Poor Jason
like
Todd.
that. I mean, are we saying that's definitely Jason Todd? Because I know Jason Todd used the staff and all that stuff. Is Dick Grayson in here at all? Is he Nightwing, or does he not exist?
Well, I mean, if it is Jason Todd, I mean, just about thinking about the comics, if it is Jason Todd, then Dick Grayson has already gone on to become Nightwing. No.
Yeah. Well, how do you guys feel about this one shot I'm looking at right now where it says "You let your family die"?
Yeah,
I was wondering about that.
What?
Did Bruce Wayne have a family in Metropolis after he gave up being Batman?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But
Not in the canon of the comics, but they could have added that now.
I mean, in the he has Damian with Talia al Ghul.
Yeah, with Talia.
I think we might be seeing maybe a Batman that retired because Bruce Wayne became the main persona, and now he has to go back. I don't know.
That'd be really interesting to sort of just make all that shit up.
They did call him. There's that voiceover from, I think it's like a policeman saying, calling Batman a vigilante. So maybe he didn't really. Maybe he retired on not the best of terms.
The other big question with that is who sent that to him. Was it from the Joker? Was it from like Lex Luthor? Was it from just some random person?
That's what confused me when I saw that. I mean, obviously you see the spray paint on Robin's outfit, and you understand if you've seen, the story with the crowbar and all that stuff. But seeing that, I'm just like, what?
If I have to guess, it's definitely Lex Luthor playing the two against each other.
Yeah, that's right.
I think that's
because
the main conflict.
If it was Joker, knowing what we know of Joker now, he has to put ha-ha on everything, including his body. And there's no ha-has on here.
You don't know it's him unless there's a ha-ha-ha.
On the
but
newspaper.
if it said, "You let your family die, ha-ha," that would be so dark.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It said, haha, you let your family die. I'm damaged.
Well, I don't know. He did kind of spray paint on, what was probably Jason Todd's dead body. Jokes on you.
But I mean, that's him and Batman. They go way back. He doesn't know Bruce that well. That's kind of you can't just say you let your family die, haha. Yet you gotta ease yourself in there.
Yes, something interesting. I don't know if you guys heard about it, but on the panel they said that Metropolis and Gotham are sister cities.
They're sister cities. Yeah, they're right across the river from each other.
They're like Oakland and San Francisco.
Yeah, which in the comics it was kind of Gotham cities, kind of stand in almost for like New York.
Yeah,
Metropolis is kind of a Chicago, St. Louis kind of thing. But if they're
the
all
idea of them being sister urban city.
Because I mean, anything else is like it doesn't make sense for them to be jumping back and forth between cities.
Yeah,
right.
They do it in a Flash and Arrow. They're right next to each other. Starling, Coast.
Yeah,
that makes a lot of
Flash
sense.
can get there pretty quick.
Central. Yeah.
So how do we all feel about Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
Oh, she looked great.
She looks good, but I mean, why can't we have a just jacked woman?
Right.
Exactly.
Because none of them can act. See, Gina Carano.
Gina Carano is just amazing, but damn, she cannot act.
I don't know. I mean, I'm judging this, I'm sure, wonderful actress off of 3 shots that I saw, but I don't know. Ferrora from Man of Steel, she was perfect.
Everyone said that.
She had the physicality. She had the look, even if she wasn't a big woman. But Wonder Woman, I mean, there's, I don't know. She just looks kind of like a really good cosplay to me right now.
That's what I completely agree.
A girl who's just like really attractive, like, oh yeah, that's a good Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
Wonder Woman has to have like this presence about her. Like, you're too afraid to look at her from across the room because you're afraid she'll, throat punch you from where she is. Like, she has to have that sort of dominant presence. And I really don't, as beautiful as Gal Gadot is, she's just stunning. She's gorgeous, but
Yeah.
she's not Wonder Woman to me.
Yeah,
She
I
just-
agree. Like the one shot where she like falls back into the rubble, I didn't even feel that. Like I didn't feel like
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
feel the
And that's-
action about it. You know?
I'm slightly disappointed because Zack Snyder is so good about putting his actors through the ringer. I mean, 300, Watchmen, Bruce Wayne. I mean, Ben Affleck is jacked in this.
Oh, God,
I mean,
yes.
he's
He looks
jacked. It's great.
I
And
couldn't believe-
he's 6'4", and he's a giant guy, and he's a great actor. Yeah, but I'm sure out there you can find a woman that has the physical presence of Wonder Woman.
Exactly. There's probably an interesting reason as to why they casted her,
Yeah, maybe.
and we
But
just
I mean,
don't know it yet.
we didn't see any Aquaman, but we know who they got for Aquaman.
Oh God, yes.
Ah,
Yeah.
Drogo.
I mean, perfect casting, right? Everybody's like, oh yeah, screw Aquaman. But whenever you cast Khal Drogo
Yeah,
and
you're like,
Conan the
actually-
Barbarian, it's like, well, I guess he's cool.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm really curious as to Wonder Woman's role in Batman v
Yeah,
Superman,
that's
because
very
like
true.
what they showed her, they showed the one shot of her getting into a car, which could have been at like Bruce Wayne's place or something like that. I don't know, but all the rubble and everything she was in, like I kept trying to look in the background and try to figure out like where is she? What is she doing in this? Who is she even fighting?
Is she
you
being
know?
like the mediator? Like, what is she doing? Like,
If I have to guess, it kind of seemed to be in the same style as those shots we got of Superman being bowed to, and that kind of thing. So maybe it's I don't know. I still have this theory of it being like an alternate reality that this could happen, and you'll kill all the heroes, and there's Wonder Woman, you killed her too. I don't know.
That could be it.
she's
too.
doing the Catwoman, where she's just like their alter egos are meeting. I think that's
Yeah.
what's happening, and then they meet later as their superhero personas.
I wonder, because the whole thing deals with like that huge destruction of Metropolis at the end of Man of Steel, and right after she's doing her, what do you call those things? The gauntlets of submission or something?
Bracers, yeah.
Braces of submission, and then it's like that huge explosion. Like, where is this? This looks like a horrible place to be.
Mhm.
What has she done?
I don't even know if that's her. I think that might just be clever editing. But
Yeah.
I read a little bit. I haven't read The Dark Knight Returns, but I know of it, and I know that there's some sort of Russian missile that Superman deters from blowing everything up, and then him and
Well,
Batman fight after
in that book, Superman is a agent of the government.
Yeah,
All the other heroes have been banned, and Superman is like government sponsored. He only does what they tell him to do, and they tell him to go after Batman.
And much
Yeah.
like Dr. Manhattan was like the only
Yeah.
superhero that was like allowed.
There was one other thing in here that I saw that kind of gave me pause, and that is the criminal that Batman apprehends and leaves for the cops. He has a batarang burn.
Yeah, he has a
that's
brand.
Body?
extreme.
It's
Yeah,
like
he wouldn't- Batman doesn't do
doesn't
that.
torture people.
No, he doesn't.
Is
He
that
beats the
another
hell
Lex
out-
thing?
But
yeah.
well, that's true. Or does Batman that just had his family killed? Does he burn people?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I
I
mean,
just thought that really stood out to me. Like what?
And that it stood out to me too, and that's another thing that I was telling Ricky was I'm like super into Batman. I love Batman. He's my favorite. And I'm like Batman is scary as hell, and he'll probably break your arm just for I don't know, seeming like you're gonna start something.
Yeah.
But I don't think he would leave a
wouldn't
permanent
mark
mark
someone,
like
yeah.
burning you. He might be kind of borderline psychotic, but I think morally he's pretty sound.
Yeah.
As strange as that
And
sounds.
I don't feel like Batman has much of an ego to him, and that seems more ego-ish, like leave my mark on them.
Yeah, exactly. And they again, there's sort of this established like irrational rage to Batman. And Batman, if you know him as a character, is mastered like all aspects of himself, at
Well,
some point in time.
that's the thing Alfred's talking about, which Jeremy Irons as Alfred is perfect. But
Absolutely perfect.
it almost seems like as Man of Steel was Superman's trial after coming off of, having now killed someone after, dedicating his life to saving one. Maybe that's what Batman's going through now. This is his trial.
Yeah, that's right.
This
Could be.
is like avoiding having to do his origin story.
Right. Which, by the way, in the trailer, do we really need to see Bruce's parents die again?
right?
We
How many
don't. We
times?
absolutely don't. But if they're gonna have Jeffrey D. Morgan be Thomas Wayne, I'll watch 30 seconds of it.
Maybe we'll have like, maybe, I mean, I guess again it is pretty repetitive to do that, but yeah, maybe you could have like the sort of he plays a bigger part in like some sort of flashback where he's talking to him or he hears his voice, and just stuff like that if they're using an actor like that.
Yeah,
I think like a haunting kind of sequence that's going on.
Yeah.
With like if his You Let Your Family Die, if that's
Mhm.
referencing what happened there and with Metropolis or whatever, and then he's also being haunted by his parents dying and that, all this is his fault. I think that's really pushing him into fighting with Superman.
And there's very obviously someone provoking him.
Right.
Which, from what I understand, and I know obviously.
Oh,
there's
speaking
no-
of which, we haven't even really touched about like Lex Luthor yet.
Lex Luthor,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, why is Superman bowing to Lex Luthor?
Yeah, I like
What's
that.
happening?
Yeah,
I-
yeah. You
I
think
didn't
there's
really
kryptonite
feel-
in his hand?
Well, here's my idea, and this is an idea that's pretty out there. Everybody knows about it initially. Is that Batman and Lex are actually teaming up initially because they're both, these big corporations that have money to get things done, and they don't like this alien who destroyed half their city. And they're initially going to actually sort of be allies in the beginning, is what I'm thinking is going to be. And then at some point, Batman will find out that Lex is actually a pretty fucked up dude, and they team. Then we have the whole Superman Batman thing. That's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, so why is Superman submitting himself to Luthor?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think they're going to do the mind control thing. It's kind of corny. But he bows down and then he looks up in a look of defiance. I mean, what is happening here? I'm so intrigued.
Is it leverage or is it kryptonite or off screen? What is it?
I get the
That's
feeling
what I was thinking.
that might be like the scene of his Endgame where he's been turning them against each other, and now here's Lex, and he has a god bowing to him. He's exactly
The only clue I think we get is we see General Zod's body in this trailer. And it looks to me like there's two army guys with a coffin. And are they in LexCorp, or does Bruce have the body? Does Lex? Is there something that that comes right after the whole Lex being bowed to? I don't know.
Yeah, well, in Man of Steel, when they have their fight near the end, Superman and Zod epically takes off his suit, they're on top of a LexCorp building.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So
I didn't even think about
he's going to reclaim that armor. He's going to re-engineer it. He's going to test it for weaknesses, and that could be how kryptonite comes into the picture.
Well, I had thought that maybe Bruce took that armor and made his new bat suit with it, but I guess that's true.
Unless he's working with Lex. Like, he goes to Lex, and he's like, I need a way to stop Superman.
Right.
He's like, I got you.
Exactly. I got you, bro. I got you back.
I didn't even think about the coffins, but
I thought that was just a flashback to the Waynes.
yeah, no, it could be, but I didn't even think about the coffin. At the end of Dark Knight Returns, I think Batman fakes his own death or something.
What?
Yeah, like this battle with Superman. It was, I'm pretty sure it was that.
Well, he does that, and then he becomes like the head of the Sons of Batman, and becomes more of like a corporation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
no, the coffin I was talking about is that there's a shot right after he bows to Lex, and you see these two army guys and a woman walking down a hallway, and it's it's like
that one, yeah.
I thought
right before Zod.
Yeah.
I think that was that might have been related to what Zack Snyder was saying was the deleted scene from Man of Steel, where at the end of it they were going to have there's a shot of people walking down a hallway and they were delivering kryptonite to LexCorp.
Oh, okay. I never knew about that.
What do you guys think about Jesse Eisenberg?
Yeah.
I'll give him a chance.
He's already done this role. He's just getting to be super evil.
Yeah.
No?
I don't know. I would say, I don't know. I don't really have a opinion one way or another because I've already seen Lex Luthor being played by multiple actors, but he's pretty much the same guy.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do something different, go way different, I guess.
Would it have been too ridiculous for Lex Luthor to be Samuel Jackson? Come on.
I have to go see that movie.
That would be awesome.
I don't know. I feel like I think I just need to see more of his performance, but I just don't believe him yet. I don't.
Yeah. Now I don't know. I kind of like threatening.
I think that's the thing right now. Like, I don't feel threatened by Lex Luthor, and a lot of other times I feel more threatened by him.
I felt intrigued with the Red Capes are coming.
Yes.
And so, I mean, that was an interesting take, an interesting line delivery.
I don't know. I cringed.
I think it'll be interesting because I mean, when you look at it from the outside, it's like this young guy, this Mark Zuckerberg type, is gonna take down Batman and Superman. It's like, no, that makes no sense. But if they do it right, it'll be awesome.
Right.
Yeah. And
It'll bring his power.
is he wearing a wig?
Yeah.
I think so. And I think
Got
it's
it.
a wig not for the actor, but a wig for
character.
Lex. Yeah,
Which
exactly.
they've done before.
Yeah, because at first I saw that and I was like, oh, that looks really bad. But I think, I'm like, that's probably intentional.
But even more than I am excited for this movie, I'm excited to see them team up. I'm excited. Like even if you're not excited about Gal Gadot being Wonder Woman or whatever, it's like I'm excited what this means, what's coming. You know?
And just the imagery, even though they were like standing off at the end of the trailer, like they're about to fight, even just seeing that, you're like, oh my god, that's Superman and that's Batman. That's Superman.
I mean,
that's Batman.
could you imagine writing the script? Superman rips open the door of the Batmobile, and Batman, not wearing his special suit, just stands up in defiance and's like, "Come at me, bro."
Badass.
That's so great.
Definition of badass.
It's pretty epic.
I was telling her this is reminiscent of the first time we finally, 6 years after they announced they were going to do it at Comic-Con, the Avengers. We're going to see these people together. We're finally getting that in DC. And it only took, I don't know, how long?
3 years?
Double the time.
It's been 10 years since Batman Begins came out this year.
Yeah.
It's
So
been a long ass time.
We've been waiting a long time. I mean, hell, I Am Legend was been waiting for a long time.
I actually thought about that today. I was like, oh, I Am Legend had that whole little Easter egg with Batman and Superman.
Yeah, I think this is just this. If it's a really painful process, I think once we're at least over this movie, whether it's great or not so great, we're gonna get really awesome things with their teaming up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm especially excited for the Batman movie directed and written by Ben Affleck.
Yeah, that I am incredibly looking forward to. Actually, I think that can be extremely intriguing, especially his mindset. I think and his style,
and the writer from Argo.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
man.
Were you guys worried about Batman or Ben Affleck being Batman? Because I wasn't. Everyone was
wasn't.
Not
he
at all.
looks like Batman, and we know he can act. Why the hell is everyone?
Have you guys heard the Kevin Smith story about Ben Affleck and Batman?
No. Wait.
They those two go back a little bit. They don't really talk anymore. They went back, but Kevin Smith bought Ben Affleck's old house, right?
Yeah.
And he was showing him around the house, and he said, "And here's my Batcave." He's like, "Here's my Batcave," and he moved a chest of books to the side, and he had a Batcave because this man loves Batman so much. The only reason he did Daredevil is because Frank Miller wrote Daredevil, and Frank Miller wrote The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So
I think that's the only reason people are worried about Ben Affleck is just because of Daredevil.
Yeah. Well, even and it just he had a comical beginning, but I mean, I'm always saying some of the best dramatic actors are the funniest ones. They're the people that it takes so much to be funny, and I guess people don't realize that.
Yeah, it's actually drama that's actually easier to do than comedy.
But I mean, if all we're gonna do is just talk about the physicality of a character, I'm looking at a shot of Ben Affleck right now, and he looks like Bruce Wayne.
He really does.
In animated series.
He's got the chin.
That
man.
shot of him running into the smoke.
Yes.
Have
Everybody
you ever
else is
been
running
sold-
away, and he's running into it.
Yeah. Have you ever been sold on Batman that quickly before?
He's
He's got the pouty frown mouth and the chin, and that epic chin. He really does.
I love his voice too.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm fine
I
with
hope
it.
that he just kind of keeps that for Batman. You don't need to go too crazy. I mean, they kind of had that robotic Terminator,
Yeah.
Transformers
Bleed.
voice. Whatever.
Yeah, maybe we'll get over it. But I mean, it's better than having laryngitis.
Where's the trigger?
There's Boo
Better
Awakening.
than being freaking Solid Snake, old man Snake.
Oh, he should be Snake. Anyways,
He needs to stop.
I'm excited, guys.
Yeah,
I
I like
Star
to.
Wars is still my first love, but if Star Wars denies me, I'll have this as my backup.
yeah. This is kind of off topic, but not really. But it's leading into Justice League. One of the rumors that it's been around before Comic-Con, but it even got brought up again at Comic-Con, is that it's not just going to focus on Batman versus Superman. Darkseid is going to come in.
I've heard something about that. I've also heard that they're using Zod's body to possibly create Doomsday.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, that's cool.
So, I
they're,
don't
they're,
know.
they're prepping. They're prepping.
I mean, if you're going to do Darkseid, I mean, Marvel's already doing Thanos.
Yeah.
That's
It's gonna
kind of
get
the
confusing.
same exact character.
Yeah. And then if we want to just base it on looks, now we've got the X-Men and they've got Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Oh wow, they all have
They're
elevated
all-
to the same.
They're
levels.
bringing out their
I don't know.
blue-bodied aliens.
Give me Brainiac. Why can't we have a good Brainiac?
They, oh my!
I would love Brainiac.
He's the perfect villain.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
Dude, him
cool.
and
So
Smallville. I
I
love
love this
that
trailer,
too.
guys.
Wait, what happened?
I loved it. I love
Oh,
this trailer.
yeah. I was gonna say we're gonna start wrapping up because we have been
Yeah.
recording for almost over an hour because we had to stop for a little bit. Any last minute thoughts you guys want to say just about Comic Con in general? Anything specifically you didn't get to touch on?
The only thing I'll say is, can Comic-Con please start streaming this stuff so I don't have to watch
Yeah.
live vlogs? And come on, I mean, Celebration made a lot of money too, and they streamed everything.
Although we still don't have Rogue One. That's kind of dick. But we know why. We know why we don't have it.
Yeah.
Well, I have it. You guys want it? 'Cause I got it.
No, we have it.
I got
Okay.
it firsthand.
All right.
I got it firsthand. This is Antoine Bandelay,
Eric Whiteley.
Aaron Elliott.
Ricky Elliott.
Dirk McGurk.
and remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
It's great.
Frosted Flakes. All right, now. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Welcome to It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's a Podcast. No, I didn't like that one. I'm going again. I kind of flubbed a little bit. I was like trying to do something and it didn't really go. Anyway, all right, here we go.